What's up, everybody? Iron Will Roberts here of Will Roberts Fitness. Welcome to the channel where we discuss everything health, fitness, and performance. Today we're talking about the truth behind Robert Pattinson's Batman physique. Let's jump in. Now, this got news a couple years ago, actually, when he first got cast as Bruce Wayne / Batman. He was quoted in this interview saying that he didn't want to work out. He wasn't going to work out for this role. Now, if you've ever done an interview before, they're really awkward, and it's really easy to say stupid stuff and stuff that you don't really mean, or maybe it's only a half-truth. And so he responded later on and said, yes, of course I'm going to work out. I'm playing a superhero. But he was in the middle of being quarantined, and he was just feeling really unmotivated, and he was kind of just like making a weird joke about it. And then when people dug a little bit deeper, more specifically, he was saying that he didn't want to take steroids, which is very common in the entertainment industry. You see these actors that have to make this massive transformation in 3 months. They have to lose all this weight or gain all this muscle or both, which both those things take time in and of themselves, but to shed fat and gain muscle at the same time is very difficult. And you're talking about gaining 20, 30 pounds of muscle for a lot of these people, especially the guys, the big superheroes that you see. It's really difficult. I wouldn't say it's impossible. I'm not gonna say that people definitely use steroids because I don't know, I'm not there with them, but it's really hard, okay? So a lot of people are using them to get this amazing physique that everyone thinks looks super heroic, and he apparently was saying he didn't want to do that. So that factored into him saying, I'm not gonna work out. It was just kind of his roundabout way of saying I'm not gonna do what everyone's telling me to do. Okay, so with that in mind, I think it's pretty obvious that the guy trained. Like if you look at the pictures, he looks like a guy that worked out. He's got big chest, he's got big shoulders, he's got a tapered waist. I've been training people for 18 years, and I'll be honest, most of my clients would love to look like Robert Pattinson as the Batman. He looked athletic. And I think, if we're talking about like the authenticity of the role, which is really the point, when you're working out to play a character like that, you just want it to look good, you want it to look authentic. I mean, he looked like a martial artist, and Batman is like the ultimate martial artist. And plus, Bruce Wayne, Batman never sleeps. Like he probably works in his business all day long, fights crime all night long. There's not a lot of sleep and recovery there. He wouldn't look like a bodybuilder. He'd look more streamlined, more athletic, more like a martial artist, which I think that Robert Pattinson does. He looks like he worked out. He looks like a martial artist or a boxer or something along those lines, all right? So I think that it fits for the role. And you just really have to keep in mind that bodybuilding is really its own endeavor. It's really its own sport. Whereas getting strong, getting lean, getting athletic is a very different endeavor in and of itself. Okay, there is a bit of an overlap, but sometimes you see bodybuilders that are just huge but are unathletic. Sometimes you see bodybuilders that are massive and athletic and strong and all that. Sometimes you see guys that are really good athletes and they're not massive or particularly impressive looking. Sometimes you see athletes that are impressive looking, all right? So it doesn't necessarily have to have both those things at the same time. So that's kind of the common sense side of this. Another thing I want you to take away from this is to not listen to celebrities for fitness advice. All right, this is a big one because people love these big celebrity transformations, but you have to remember that they're just people like you and I. They're just like my clients, that they come in, they have a goal, but they don't necessarily know how to get there. You ever heard the phrase, everything hurts and I'm dying? It's like a joke that people say when they first start working out and they get that first week of workouts under the belt and they're just like so sore and so tired. Everything hurts and I'm dying. They're not really dying. That's an exaggeration. Celebrities do the same thing when they say maybe how much muscle they gained or how much they were working out or the fact that they weren't working out or the things that they were eating. They exaggerate just like people do. Towards the end, Robert Pattinson said that he was basically only eating white fish with some lemon juice squirted onto it. And he was like, I never want to see another piece of white fish again as long as I live. And he was restricting water and all this because he had the shirtless scene. And he didn't want to have extra water in his belly so that he could look as lean as possible. That's pretty extreme. I don't know if he did that or not, but if he did, two things. One, I have clients that get amazing results that look like that never have to do that. They don't have to eat just fish and lemon juice. So there might have been an easier way to do that. But my guess is that maybe he was training, but he got like a couple weeks out from this shirtless scene and realized, uh-oh, I don't look quite the way that I wanted to look just yet, and had to do something a bit more extreme to get that last bit of progress that he wanted. Who knows if that's what happened, but either way, you should be able to get amazing results and be strong and muscular and lean without eating just fish and lemon juice and barely any water for the rest of your life. That's ridiculous. So whenever you're listening to a celebrity talk about their fitness, remember that they're normal people, just like you and I, and they do exaggerate. So don't take fitness advice from them. All right, last thing here. I'm gonna get kind of deep. We as a culture have to stop idolizing a certain body type. For women, for men, women have been dealing with this for years. Men are just now starting to deal with things like body shaming or the perfect body type that we have to attain. If you only can look one way to look appealing, or you only have to be certain strength levels to feel masculine, it's just ridiculous. You might never look that way or never feel that way, but you can be amazing. You can be completely fulfilled in your health and fitness at any age, in any season of life. I see it all the time. I was a minor pro hockey player. I competed in American Enjoyer. It was my job to be healthy and strong and fit for a long time. And then I transitioned out of that. And now I'm a husband, I'm a father, I run my businesses, and I still am healthy and strong, but it looks a little bit different. That's okay. It's gonna look different for every person. Furthermore, I could take two people. My brother and I are a really good example. My brother is just bigger than I am. And if we train the same, which we have before, he'll get stronger and bigger, and I'll get stronger and leaner. It's just our body types. There's some ways that we could make that change a little bit. Like he can get really lean if he wants to, and I can get bigger if I want to. But it's always going to be easier for him to get strong and big, and it's always going to be easier for me to get strong and lean. All right? One of those isn't better than the other. It's just different. All right? Be strong, be healthy, and love on the person next to you the way that they are. Let them, walk out their process and celebrate their process with them. And especially with these celebrities, man, it's a tough thing to have your aesthetics be associated with your job. Even as a trainer, like there's a certain level of pressure, like I stay in shape because I like to do it, but also because there's a certain image that people expect when you're teaching them how to get in shape. It's even more than that, I would imagine, when you're talking about a $200 million movie that you are the face and the body of. That's a lot of pressure. So we have to give, grace. We have to be patient and celebrate people and love on them where they are. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's not us. They're living their own life. So that's it. That's my moral soapbox for the night. But anyway, have you seen the movie? Have you seen the pictures? What'd you think? Did he look like Batman? Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you next time.